Good evening, my dear friends. I welcome you all to the Hindu and the Businessline editorial analysis on July 4, 2022. The shocking incident of landslides in Tupul area in Manipur is a classical example of an anthropologically induced landslides because the anthropologically induced landslides mean that human beings are behind most of the landslides. The mass construction in the hilly areas, especially the Himalayan regions and the hilly areas of Kerala, and the recent landslides in Kerala also point out that anthropological interventions have caused much of the damage to the environment. And the Tupul area, there is a water body which is threatening to overflow and inundate the low-lying areas, thereby likely to cause mass deaths. Already, so many deaths have occurred in two digits, and the National Landslides Mapping Project, which is just studying about the landslides, possibility of landslides, and a geographical survey of India, is about to come out with some of the vulnerable areas of landslides. This environmental intervention by human beings, the anthropological factor, has to be reduced so that this is a wake up call because the human intervention of the environment has taken its toll on the Tupul area in Manipur, and between 2010 and 2014 there were 20 landslides in Manipur, showing equally with the reports coming from Kerala showing that it is a wake up call and time to introspect on the landslide possibilities and thereby protecting the environment from being the prone to human interventions. The second is the discussion on the purchasing managers index. The purchasing managers index is an index of the growth of eight core sectors of the industries. The eight core sectors industries are electricity, coal, refineries, cement, then power, and so on. So, the main core areas are electricity, refineries, coal. All these have shown double digit growth from year on year. Last year, it could be due to the pandemic hit slowdown, which caused the no production or the slack in production. However, the present figures show that the year on year figure has been improving, however, arrested by the inflationary pressures on inputs which inhibit the production in the manufacturing sector. So, the eight core industries, out of which the first four core industries have performed well. However, this data is an optical illusion. Optical illusion in the sense that since last year there was no production due to the pandemic and the second wave of the COVID, this year this is a highlighting figure which is coming on the low base of the last year. Therefore, this optical illusion can be overlooked. If the data month on month is taken, it is just growing by single digit from the April figures. Hence, the month on month data shows that not much growth is being registered by these core sectors of the economy as shown by the purchasing managers index. However, a breather or the relief in the data is that the the lead time between the demand and the manufacturing has picked up, which shows that the once the demand is set, the production can be made faster. Then there is the crime. Even the police who are supposed to control the crime are being prone to criminals themselves through custodial deaths. Between 2001 and 2018, there has been 1,200 plus custodial deaths. Only few have been proved and the policemen punished for the custodial deaths. The article shows how the artificial intelligence, the machine learning, and brain mapping techniques can be used for several the custodial interrogations through which the police can make less risky ventures on the interrogation process. The Supreme Court, in a judgment, has nullified the effect of brain mapping, narco analysis, and lie testing. Therefore, such techniques of use of technology cannot be used. However, the data, the detection techniques, that is, the lie detection techniques, which are there, like brain mapping and narco analysis, are better methods preventing the custodial deaths. Then there are cameras, body cameras, which capture the police forces, the policeman's actions on the criminal. The actions on the criminal can be caught by the body cameras. Supreme Court has held that the consent of the person has to be taken before any kind of the defection detection techniques, that is the cheating techniques of the criminals. Only with the consent of them the brain mapping and narco analysis can be applied. Then there is body machine interaction. The body machine interaction is the process or harmless process in which the with the use of influential techniques the machine can bring out the truth from the criminals. These are some of the methods through which non harmful evidence taking by the police can be taken. Then there is the question of safety measures in the power sector. The safety measures in the power sector hinges on consumers' susceptibility to the deaths due to several defects in the connections and some of the low safety measures found in the consumer's area of consumption of electricity. However, most of the safety professionals are only looking at the industrial consumers, just leaving out the domestic consumers out of the ambit. This is a very big lacuna. The consumers, the distribution companies are just concerned about revenue collection and not the safety of the consumers. The studies have to be conducted so that the identification of the threats to the domestic consumers can be found out and the proper application of safety measures each household has to be implemented. The man electricity interaction comes at a cost of the lives of the citizens. Hence, to protect the lives of citizens, the electricity companies, the distribution companies should focus on this area of safety measures. The Businessline says discusses about the Reserve Bank of India's fiscal stability report has come out. It points out that the gross NPS across the banking sector, especially the public sector banks, have come down. Even the gross NPS of the NPA, the non banking sector and urban cooperative banks and rural cooperative banks have come down. The NPS, the gross NPS now stand at 5% for the public sector banks. The fiscal stability index, which shows that the stability has been established in Indian economy where the global indices are not stable still now. The global indices have erred. However, India is just back on its track, arresting the NPS and becoming the stable banking system. The Reserve Bank's intervention in the arena of public sector banks, the urban cooperative banks, the non-performing, the non-banking sector has been very much commendable. The capital adequacy have also improved for all these public sector banks, the urban cooperative banks and the rural cooperative banks and non-banking sector. Therefore, the NBFCs, the public sector banks, the urban cooperative banks and the rural cooperative banks are more stable now. Therefore, when the fintech companies are just ruling the market with the new financial technology products, the Reserve Bank of India must also come out with a stringent regulatory mechanism on these fintech companies so that the stability established in the conventional banking sector is also extended to the fintech sector. The agricultural output has to improve and it must be remunerative to the farmers also. Therefore, a GST council like Agricultural and Marketing Council should be formed so that the direct benefit transfers to the agriculturists can be made in the way in which the minimum support price used to support the farmers. Therefore, the farm laws are repealed. However, these were very nice reforms. If brought within with some changes, it would have ensured the small scale farmers' incomes. However, the lobby of the agricultural marketing intermediaries revolted against the farm laws and government could not think of anything other than just repealing it. The farm sector is the state subject. As per the Indian Constitution, this comes within the state subject under the 7th schedule of the Constitution. However, when India's Commerce Ministry takes up the woes of the agricultural farmers at the WTO level, then it becomes the union oriented subject. Therefore, the union government has to ensure the direct benefit scheme. First, it must improve the fruits and fruits sector where the MSP, that is minimum support price, was also not available. Thereafter, it must ensure that pulses and the oil seeds also follow suit. Then it must extend these support mechanisms to other sectors. Therefore, the farm reforms is very much necessary and a GST council like council, that is Agricultural and Marketing Council, must be ushered in. Friends, I have come to the conclusion of today's analysis of the Hindu and the Businessline editorials. So, I hope you enjoyed the discussion. Meet you tomorrow with some more discussions of tomorrow's topics. Till then, goodbye, good night.